Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. Well, I got the valves out of the dove heads, and as you can see, pretty dirty. And supposedly, this engine wasn't together all that long. The kid got disgusted with it, or the guy. I don't know how old the guy was, but it wasn't really that fast for what it was. So he took it all back apart, and I wound up with the heads. And I'm just gonna start cleaning everything up, guys. This is gonna put us on our way with the 460 stuff, and anybody that's messed with Ford stuff knows the stock valves are pretty bad when it comes to performance. And I guess a lot of factory valves are. They're not made for performance, but I hope it shows up, guys. This has a big ridge on it right there, and it's not as bad as I thought it would be on the exhaust side, but the intake side, very grimy. So what we're going to do is kind of take care of two problems at one time. I've seen guys, they take a grinder to this and take this edge off. They'll put it on their grinder, and they'll hold it, and they'll turn it. That's one way of doing it on a drill, turning the opposite way. You can do this in a hand drill, which I've done basically my whole life. I've just taken a piece of sandpaper and held it there in a drill. But I'm spoiled now, guys. I have a little bit higher up equipment here. So we're going to do it this way. I'm going to put that in there, the valve. You don't want to over tighten it. I try not to tighten it any more than I have to, but this drill here, it kind of slips out if you don't get a little bit aggressive with it. But there's different ways, different methods of doing this. What I do, take one of these pads. And the reason I do that is because this is what I have at the minute. I'm going to take some brake clean or a carb cleaner. Just spray it on the pad. And of course, if you use a pad like this, it's going to run on your hands. It's not the best thing to be using as far as making a mess. Keep a rag handy, of course, when you do something like this. But what we're going to do, we're going to clean it up as best we can with this. Try to get some of the gunk off of it so it don't clog my paper up. Because instead of using a file, like most guys do, or like I've done in the past, I'm going to do this in a way that an average guy could do it, that's never done this kind of stuff before, without worrying about hurting his valves, because you don't want to hurt the seat. And that's always something to be concerned about. You don't want to try to do something that's going to help you out and hurt yourself in the process. And the last thing you want to do is hurt the edge on this seat for the valve. As you guys can see, I cleaned that up pretty decent. You can see the difference. But now you can see the edge on there more, probably, that I'm talking about. I don't know, sometimes things show up better when it's dirty on camera here, but hey guys, I tried turning my phone sideways like everybody's telling me to do, and when I do that, all you get is a longer view on a short screen. It comes out the same. That's why I'm not doing that. So anybody wondering why I'm not turning the phone sideways, it's worse. And I've tried that a few different times for you fellas, and one of them I think is still on YouTube, and but the other segments I threw away because they were no good. But anyway, guys, here we go. And you don't want to hit your seat when you do this. You just want to do the back of the valve. We're just going to knock this edge down. And one thing bothers me a little bit. They always have a number on the back right here. I'm going to try to flatten that out a little bit. Is it a big deal? No. But I just try to smooth things out best I can, guys. That's just me. You can hold your paper however you want. Hold it this way. I can't hold it the way I want to because I'll block what I'm doing on camera here. So we're just going to polish this up. And excuse me, guys. You can use a lighter grade paper. Like this is like too aggressive, really, but I'm just trying to show you guys. I'm trying to knock this edge down. So you can. If you just want to clean them up, you can use a 120 grit, 150, 200, whatever you guys like. But this is the way to do this. It's not a lot of work. And you can see how that's starting to smooth out. Get some of the grit off the other side. And like I said, guys, this isn't the way you have to do it. Any way you want to hold your paper. Some guys will hold it this way and let it just go on one side. I actually hold it this way, like around, and try to do just let the corners. And that way I'm covering more of a consistent area. I'm getting more done this way. I'll move it back and forth like this here. And according to how picky you are and how much you want to polish these up, you can spend a lot of time doing this. But what we're going to do, we're just making them where they're clean. And I'm just going to knock this, like I said, this ridge down. And knowing me, I'll wind up going back over these again. But that's just me. Yeah, that's a lot better. You can see the difference where it's tapering in to the side here. So how much does it help? I've seen where this picks up quite a bit. And depending on the head and how much performance you're trying to do. If you're just making a rebuild and you're not worried about going fast, just clean them up. You don't have to worry about the rigs. You don't have to worry about anything. But I just figured this way. Why not? I'm doing this anyway. So that's how I look at it. Plus, I am trying to get the truck to run pretty fast for what it is. I don't know exactly what kind of luck I'm going to have doing that, because I found out that the cam I have and the heads that I have was already together on a combination. And I told you earlier in the beginning of the segment, the kid or the guy, whoever he was, wasn't happy with it. And the reason he wasn't happy, he had it in a Mustang, I believe. And I think they said the car went in the 12s. And I think it was high 12s. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but that's not good in my book. So we've done that with a stock 429, my friend's car. And all comes down to converter, gearing, and everything. But even with no gear, even basically stock, especially if that's a Dove motor, being a high compression 429, if that was a 429 or a 460, which would have about 10.5 to 1 compression, it would still go that fast. Every one of my friends back in the day, their cars ran like 1270s with bone stock 429, 460. Most of us have 429s, but yeah, they would go that fast bone stock with the stock cam and everything. So that's not a good start. So I have my work cut out for me. We'll be discussing that as we go on the build. And we're getting there, guys. Once I get these cleaned up, I'm doing this for today because it's a little bit easier than doing the heavier work. I'm trying to cut back a little bit. And then we're going to be jumping on the porting of the heads. Once I get the heads knocked out, then we're going to be over on the short block. And we have a lot to do to that. That thing is pretty dirty. So just letting you guys in on what's going to be happening. And I need more time, fellas, to be able to do what I have to do as far as working full time and then trying to do a complete build on this truck. And then the car on top of it. You guys know that follow me. I want to do a bucket list engine. And that's when I start getting pressured. And then it makes me want to walk away from all this stuff. But the truck, I'm looking forward to the build on this truck. This is more important to me right now than the Mustang. But the thing is with the Mustang, I really enjoy that. And it's cool doing everything you want to do when you're just doing it. But when you're working on everything and you're not getting anything out of it except the work, and you're not going to the track, and everything you have needs to be put together, it starts to wear on you. I know how guys get doing one car. I've seen people sell their vehicles because it needed a couple things done to it. So when you get my age, it gets to be a little bit worse. If it wasn't for my son, I probably wouldn't have anything together at all. And his buddies jumped in there and helped me. My son's friend, he's got in there and helped me. And like I said, my other friend John stopped by yesterday. He got these out for me, the valves. Well, we did it together. It actually took both of us, fellas. You'd laugh. It was kind of a ridiculous thing to see two guys having to take valves out of a head. I've never had that happen before. And he was sure kind of bewildered by it, to see them stuck in there like that. He thought they had the wrong keepers. He said, did they put the wrong degree keeper on them heads? I'm like, I don't know what they did. Because I had 3 or 4 of them that came right out, and then we got to them, and they wouldn't come out of the rest of the way. And then the other head was basically normal. I don't understand how 3 or 4 of them would be like that, stuck, and then the rest of them be kind of normal. Because they're always a pain, depending on what kind of spring you have. If you have a spring that has more tension on it, and you're using one of these little spring tools, these aren't the best, but they've sure got me by over the years. And sometimes this one here works better than the big one I have. That's why I'm using the small one here, because the big one that goes under the head and clamps the valve down, and then you press it down, that's actually worse, and it wouldn't work. So, yeah, that's how it went for that job. So, I know a few of you guys understand that. You've been there and had the same problems, but I just thought I'd run that by you, fellas. But I'm going to finish these valves all up and clean these up. And, yeah, these are definitely more dirty. Sometimes when something looks like this here, if that's not carbon, if that's just like an oil base, sometimes it'll come off easier. Then other times, it'll look like it's going to come right off, and it'll be worse. It'll be baked on. So you never know doing this stuff. I like pre-soaking this kind of stuff, but I don't have time. And that's why I'm getting a little bit more aggressive with the heavier paper. And plus, I have the heavier paper. These are actually one of my sanding rolls that I unraveled, and that's what I'm using for this, guys. But anyway, fellas, thank you for stopping in, seeing what I'm up to, and hopefully we're going to have a little bit going on here that's going to be hopefully something for everybody, from just painting the engine up, clean up, and timing chain. So there's going to be a lot of things going on. So hang in there, fellas. I think we're going to have a nice little build here, and we're going to get to see how it runs at the end. We'll be taking it to the track, and it's just going to take a little while because, like I said, it doesn't happen overnight. But that's my plan, fellas. And I appreciate you guys going along for the ride with me. And thank you for stopping in and seeing what I'm up to, guys. Have a good one, and God bless.